What is going on, fire signs, and happy birthday, Sagittarians? This is your girl, Venus Archangel, here with another love reading for you guys. If you're unsure of your placements, go ahead and check the description box below. Also, guys, please remember that these readings may not resonate with everybody, and that is totally fine. That said, let's go and see what's happening in your love lives, okay? Alright, one more good shuffle and then we'll be good to go. Justice, okay. Justice is what comes up, but there's a lot of other cards, so it tells me there's a lot of business here. The thing is that Justice usually talks about is getting things squared away. You know, straighten some things out, balancing some things. So, that being said, I think there's a lot of accountability that's being taken today, or has been taken. There's, you know, justice can also indicate court cases and things like that, but I feel like with justice coming up, this is a lot about gaining a balance, you know, straightening things out, evening the odds. I don't think it's revenge, but I definitely think things are starting to work in the sense of, you know, resolving some sort of issue. Now, the heart of the reading, the underlying energy of the reading is the Lovers. So we're dealing with a soulmate connection, a profound connection. And for some of you guys, this may be that very thing. For some of you, it may be a connection that you have with a certain life path or a career, something that you love, right? And a lot of readers see this as the choice, right? The card for choice. Well, how I read it, I don't necessarily see it as choice. I think the decision is already made. When you love something, you don't get to decide. It's just there, right? You don't choose to love your children. You just love them. Similar, you don't choose to love yourself. Well, you do, right? Some of us, you know, don't like ourselves, but it's due to the mind. We have reinforced reasons. Love is unconditional, and even though we may not act like we love ourselves, we do in a way because we do certain mechanisms and things to protect ourselves, right? So deep down inside, we do know that there's love, but if we accept that love, that's the kicker, right? There's not choosing between what you love and not what you love. That's not the choice. The real decision is if you choose to accept that love or continue to deny it, ignore it, and act as if it doesn't exist. Now, it's interesting that we go there, right? Because the heart of your reading starts with the Fool. So it starts from a brand new beginning, starting out fresh, you know, new stuff. Now, I do believe that there is a new beginning for a lot of you guys. This is the first day of Sagittarius season, so, you know, party over here. So a lot of us, including my sister, are celebrating a birthday today. But I feel like with the Fool coming up like this, I really feel like there is this really great new adventure and, you know, dreams that you're striding for right now. But the thing that is keeping you back, is holding you back, is the Seven of Wands, right? I was just talking about that, right? We may do things that kind of hinder ourselves from doing other stuff. So we may hate a certain mechanism, but truly we do it because we want to protect ourselves. We love ourselves that much that we protect ourselves more than we help ourselves, if that makes sense. We think we're helping by what we're doing, but it's not helping. But it is, you know, it's a reinforcement of love. And it's the truly being of faith that's the scary part, right? When it comes to starting something completely at random or completely just off the cuff, no, you know, anything, it can be very scary. And the thing is that we love ourselves that much that we don't take the leap, right? Because we don't want to get hurt. We don't want to get, you know, in trouble. We don't want to feel bad if something happens to go in the way we don't want it to go. And I feel like always, right? We have reasons to believe that certain things may not go very well, but it doesn't mean that it always will happen. It's the trust that's in love that makes love so powerful, right? So the thing is that you may have taken a leap of faith recently, or you may, you know, the situation is calling for you to take a leap of faith, to trust, to go with it. But the thing is, it's hard to do, especially considering that you have the Ten of Swords in your present, right? It's really, really hard to say, yeah, let's do this when you just, you just got hit with some really devastating stuff, right? Very difficult energy, the Ten of Swords. As a matter of fact, I would say, in my personal opinion, is one of the worst decks, one of the worst cards to get in the tarot. Why? Because it's not really bad per se. It's hard and it's very difficult to accept this. But the truth of the matter is, once you get this card, the worst is over. But the reason why it makes it the worst is because it brings out all the darkness, right? Brings out all the gunk. And that worst is not actually worse, it's the best in a very, I guess, cynical way, or a sadistic way in a sense. But let's be real, right? Darkness only comes out through light, right? So in order for us to know the grueling details, or the absolute truth of the core of something, we have to have light shed on it, and we may not like the things surrounding it. So yeah, it's one of the hardest decks, hardest cards to deal with. I don't know why I keep saying deck, but the hardest cards to deal with. Not necessarily the worst, but the hardest card to deal with, because it brings out so much. So you had some sort of realization, some sort of recollection here. I think something definitely was brought to your attention, a lot clearer for you to see, and you knew the steps needed to take to get to where you wanted to be. But then something happened. Something ended really badly. Definitely, I don't think you expected it to happen. Something tells me you kind of did. But something tells me also that it may have been for your protection, right? I don't think maybe you ended something, or someone else ended something. But either way, this has definitely got your guard up, okay? And I feel like, it's totally understandable. But the thing is, the worst is over. It can only get better from here. It can only get, you can only go up, because you hit the ground hard, and you hit it. That's it. There's nothing further than the ground. There's nothing more to fall towards. You're at the low of the low. So that means that you only have up to go to. But in order for you to go up, you have to take that leap of faith. You have to leave behind, the situation, which is the Ten of Swords. And it's hard to do, considering that this is one of the hardest hardest cards to have in the tarot. Okay, it's really hard. Judgment is hard. Death is hard. Ten of Swords is hard. There's more hard cards. But that kind of understanding of the Ten of Swords is the very thing that that's important. Acceptance is the biggest thing. That's why I was talking about it. Not the Lovers, right? It's not about choosing what you love and what you don't love, right? You can't choose who you love. You can't choose what you love. You just love that thing. It's if you accept it. In a way, the Seven of Wands can be two things. It can be acceptance or denial. Now, as how you look at it is very important, because the Seven of Wands is standing at a very good advantage point, right? He's got the high ground. There's nothing really going to swipe him over his legs, nothing. But the Ten of Swords can make him feel like he's got to fight. He's got to protect. He's got to push back, instead of finding different ways to do something when he knows a certain way is not necessarily the most ideal passage, if that makes sense. And I feel like the Ten of Swords, it may have been that thing, right? There may have been an ending, or a way something went down, and that may not be the ideal way you want to go, go about doing something. So with this information, and one thing I want to note, that the Fool has all the information he's got, everything he needs in this little sack. So even though you're going into it brand new, that you still have facts, you still have things, you still have tools, you still have your perspective of how things should go in your mind. You still have, some ounce of skill to take with you, something to take with you that is a great use. And that's what the Seven of Wands is about. Seeing this Ten of Swords as what it is, really devastating, but also the absolute bottom of the bottom. Like, it can't get any further, right? But also recognizing that all you can do is grow from here. All you can do is grow. And from that standpoint, you can take the Seven of Wands and not use it as just a defensive mechanism to protect yourself, right? because that kind of stunts growth. You can't grow from maintaining. You can, you could just, if it's waiting, it's different, right? But you're not, it's stagnation in a way. But the Seven of Wands can be used to come up with different strategies, see how to, move forward by observing the situation and taking your time with what steps to take next. But you have to first accept the situation has happened, right? And I feel like a lot of you guys have. That's why you guys are so defensive right now. That's why this, like, the Seven of Wands is super defensive. And it's understandable, because, like I said, it's understandable, 100%. I can't stress this enough. I totally understand. But you guys have something very special here. And as you understand what's going on, truly give honor to those emotions, mourn, cry, let those emotions out. Once you completely have cleansed yourself of the pain and the attachments and everything like that, that Ten of Swords is brought to you, you can really see how much you actually can withstand, how much you've grown, the perspectives that you've gained, everything. And from that point on, that can be your reinforcement, that encouragement, that motivator to get you to be able to take that leap of faith that you probably weren't feeling too comfortable taking, or you're feeling too comfortable taking now, period. But the point is this, like, the pain is temporary, that pain is temporary. The Ten of Swords, that's not going to last forever. And as much as we face a lot of this Ten of Swords energy, falling off the horse, being disappointed, hurt, love still stands stronger and better than ever, right? And we are the representations of that love. I feel like right now, definitely stand your ground and mourn, but don't think that you can't handle the next journey on. The Strength card is showing up in your future, so that's even more incentive for me to say this. You're stronger than you realize. So this situation, even though it's devastating, you have so much more than you realize that can help you get to where you want to be. To help you get to this time of happiness that you've been trying to get to for some time. Now, I don't know if this is an X, because we do got dual soulmate cards here. You got soulmate energy. But it could indicate that you just want to be happy. You want to feel like you're living your best days. And that's your goal and ambition, right? Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups indicates the past. And that's why I'm bringing this up. It's like, there's some things that we don't forget about the past, especially the pain. But we also don't forget the good memories either. And I feel like the things that we can take to our next destination is what motivates us to take those leaps of faith. So right now, the biggest thing is just, I say take it easy. But remember why you do this, right? The sun, the potential for happiness. You see it. You know what it looks like. You know what it tastes like. You know how to get there. And that risk is, I think you believe, and just like as I believe, right, just with you, it may be worth the reward, but only you can decide that for you. Is it worth the reward? Do you love it enough to accept the difficulties and use that time of difficulty as a wand to wield your magic to make it happen? Because if so, you're gold. And it will take time. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm not saying that, yeah, you got to figure it out before tomorrow, before you see in the next video. Definitely not. Because Ten of Swords is rough. But it's never the end game. You're never dead. You're never down in the dirt. You only just keep going. Death doesn't come up to say that you're done. Death comes up and says, that is not the way now. It's the time to embrace a new way. And that's why I completely understand not really wanting to take that leap of faith. But I understand as well that you see the light at the end of the tunnel. You see the potential for happiness. But it all comes from you standing up and taking it. Higher power. Talks about trust, man. Fire power talks about trust. Believe that you have your back covered by the universe, by God, whoever you believe in. Believe that, Your dreams are also someone else, God's dream for you. It's also, your higher self's dream. Whatever you are trying to get to, it is a destination that you can get to as long as you maintain belief in your capabilities, in your beliefs and capabilities to get there, pretty much. Right? Your will is what's going to get you there. The worst is already over. The worst has already happened. So right now it's all about, giving yourself that time, but also recognizing that there's more to come. There's so much more to come. There's so much more for you to experience, to see, to have, to love. There's so much more. But you have to be open to it. Okay? It's hard, but trust me, it'll be worth it, guys. Alright, this has been your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and mention again, if you guys want to participate in the giveaway, I do have a deck that I'm giving away. If you want to participate in that, go ahead and check the description box below. All you have to do is comment on this video or share my video. And yeah, share. You don't have to. You could do both. You could do either one. Either one will not necessarily liken your chance of the random pick. But how to to announce that you're in is either one of those options. Okay, so yes, go ahead and participate in the giveaway if you want the deck. But yes, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Don't worry, we'll get through this. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care, guys.